Hello, everyone. Scott Ashley here with Alabama Bass Nation, Tournament Director. Um, for this meeting, that we're going to have the tournament safety briefing for the junior division at Neely Henry this coming Saturday, October the 16th at Coosa Landing. So welcome juniors to the 2021-22 season with their own junior division this year. This term briefing is for the juniors only for this tournament. If you would please watch the whole video and make sure you share it. Share with your friends, your teammates, boat captains. We need as many people as possible, at least one person from each boat to watch so they'll understand all the policies and procedures that we have to make it a smooth tournament. We'll go through a little bit on registration and then completely through the tournament in this video meeting. Will be a little longer than normal since it's the first meeting of the year and we have a lot of new teams. So with that, we'll jump into the slideshow here. First of all, we're still dealing with the COVID stuff a little bit. I believe everybody knows this by heart by now. But if you have any symptoms or in quarantine, been in contact with anyone, please do not attend our tournament. We have a lot of tournaments. Other people have a lot going on. We don't want to spread it. So just be mindful of that and please don't attend if you have any of the symptoms or if you've been exposed. Our social media director, Chris does a great job with posting on Facebook. And on the screen for you new juniors, you'll see an email and a phone number you can text pictures to. You can text on the water pictures, any pictures from around weigh-in, anything that you would like to share. We really like to get on the water pictures throughout the day, and Chris will get them posted and kind of be an update for family or what have you that's watching on Facebook. So on the screen, you'll see those numbers and the number and the email. Okay, so we'll get into the procedures of the tournament. So the first thing is, and this will be reiterated several times, if you do not remember anything else from the whole meeting or the slideshow, please remember every team must check in, okay? They must check in with my check-in person on the dock at the end of the day. Even if you went through weigh-in, you still got to check in with the check-in person. You're not checked into the tournament until you check in with my check-in person. We will check you in once you cross the scales, but if you were due in at 2 o'clock and even if you got in at 1:50, 10 minutes early, by the time you get a bag and get to the scales, it may be 2:05. Then you're 5 minutes late and that's a five-pound penalty, okay? If you break down or have to leave early or anything else, please call me or Jeffrey and let us know so that we can make arrangements and have you checked out of the tournament. This is a safety precaution. I have to know everyone is off the water safely. So again, one more time, please check in with the check-in person on the dock at the end of the day before you leave. We'll talk about it more. You'll see slides, know where that's at. The check-in flag will be on the dock when you blast off, so you'll know where to come in and check in at. Please make sure at least one member of every team watches this video. Coaches that see this, please make sure that your teams all get a copy of this. It'll be posted on Facebook. The slideshow will also be posted separately. And I believe Chris converts this to a YouTube as well. And I believe our registration ladies email that to the coaches. So there's plenty of avenues to see it. So we need to make sure everyone sees it. Registration will be Friday afternoon, October the 15th, between 4:30 and 5:30 p.m. It will be at Coosa Landing. The trailers should be in there under the bridge where the weigh-in site will be, but you'll see the big Bass Nation trailer in Coosa Landing when you pull in. So just find the Bass Nation trailer. We'll get you checked in, get your registration cards to you and your boat flag. When you pick them up, please make sure that your boat flag number matches the boat number on your registration card. If for some reason you're not able to make it between 4:30 and 5:30 on Friday afternoon, please let us know. Call us, text us, email us so that we're not waiting around on you, and make arrangements to pick them up on Saturday morning so that we can have them ready for you. We'll have them available between 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. at the Bass Nation trailer, the same place on Saturday morning. We are allowing spectators at weigh-in, and we are back to allowing tailgating and tents. One special note for Neely Henry, they do not allow stakes, tent stakes out on the grass. And the reason is they have a lot of underground sprinklers and had a lot of trouble with getting stakes in those and busting them. Where the weigh-in will be at, there's a lot of concrete anyway. Maybe bring some weights or something, sandbag if the wind's going to be blowing. Spectators, Coosa Landing is a little bit tight. It's about 120 parking spots, but we need all of that for our boats, our boat captain trucks and trailers. So spectators will not be allowed inside Coosa Landing. You'll see a map in a few minutes that will show you where spectators will park. Maximum horsepower for all outboards used in official practice and in the tournament is 250 horsepower. Every boat must include a boat captain and 2 anglers. If there's only 1 angler, the boat must have an observer for a total of 3 people. Okay, if you have any issues come up with that, you need to let us know ahead of time. The city of Gaston is covering the launch fee at Coosa Landing for tournament day only. If you're going to practice on Friday, you'll be responsible for the launch fee, but on Saturday of the tournament day, the city is covering the launch fee. This will be a waterway in, so I'm allowing alternate boat ramps if you'd like to use an alternate boat ramp. There is one close right under the 759 bridge, but that's up to you. Blast off will be from the long dock on the downriver side of the boat ramp, or the south side of the boat ramp. You'll see that on a slide, on a map slide here in a few minutes. The boat flag that we give you on Friday must be secured onto the boat in a visible place. You can tie it onto your pedestal seat, onto your running light. People tie them different places. As long as we can see it, we must be able to see it when you come through boat check, when you idle down the dock, and it has to be visible to other competitors. Blast off, I'm anticipating somewhere around 6:15 to 6:30, probably closer to 6:30, depending on conditions. There's been a lot of fog lately. Hopefully we won't have to deal with that. Life jackets must be worn anytime the combustion engine is running. Boat captains, this includes you. Neely Henry, where we blast off from at Coosa Landing, is river, and it's a little tight. And especially if you head downriver, there's some curves. So boat captains, it's a fishing tournament, not a race. So please keep safe distance between boats and maintain safe boating. First flight will be due in at 2 p.m. and we'll have flights in 10-minute increments. Probably be somewhere around 12 boats per flight every 10 minutes. No wake. This is a big one for those that are not familiar with Neely Henry. Between the 2 bridges at Coosa Landing is no wake zone. And also downriver at the Highway 77 bridge, which is a low bridge, is a no wake zone. The Marine Patrol run those 2 areas very hard, so please be advised of that and watch those as you go through there. And of course, any other areas marked as no wake. Off limits for this tournament, again, will be on a map coming up. It's going to be the center of the river from the railroad bridge, which is the upriver side of Coosa Landing, all the way down to the entrance of the little pocket where the Riverwalk crosses it, where we'll be weighing in at. And you'll see this on a map in a minute. Of course, any other areas marked as no fishing. Size limit is 12 inches for largemouth and spotted bass. We will measure the fish with the mouth closed and the tail fanned. make every attempt to make it measure. It is a 5-fish limit. Now, so that everybody knows, with a 5-fish limit, when the 6th fish enters the boat, everybody has to stop fishing until a fish is culled. Till one fish is thrown back, whichever is the smallest, and there's only 5 in the boat again. Check in, which remember I've talked about, everyone must check in. I don't think I mentioned, I talked about it a lot, but I don't think I mentioned if someone does not check in and I can't find them, then the entire school gets disqualified, not just that boat. Okay, so very important. Again, it's a safety precaution. Okay, I have to know everyone's off the water safely. And one more time, you must check in before you go to weigh in. Okay, on the dock at the boat check-in flag. Even if you have no fish, you have to check in. If you don't have any fish, the person at the check-in flag will take your boat flag from you. You can swing by there, give them your boat flag, check in, and be free to go on your way. If you have to leave early for some reason, or you're broke down and can't make it back, please call me or Jeffrey, okay, and let us know. We'll do anything we can to help you, but we got to make sure we get you checked in and we know you're off the water safely. You must use our official Bass Nation weigh-in bags. And when you come to the scales and bring your fish, you must bring your boat flag. The bump station man is going to ask for your boat flag, and if you don't have it, he's going to turn you around to go back and get it. Anglers, when you come up on stage and you hand your fish to the weighmaster, tell him right then if you want to weigh a big fish. Don't wait until after he weighs them and I start talking to you and we get done talking and say, I want to weigh a big fish. The fish are already going to be off stage by then. So please tell him when you hand him the fish if you want to weigh a big fish. You'll see on the map in a minute, the weigh-in will be under the bridge at the Coosa Landing. It is a water weigh-in. You'll tie up to a dock at Coosa Landing and bring your fish up to the scales. I'll show you on some slides in a minute. There's 3 different docks you can use. Both anglers can come across the stage and bring the fish to the scales. I'd actually prefer to have both of them there if possible. And we'll talk about how their day went. For the spectators, you certainly can take pictures while your anglers are on stage, but as soon as we weigh them in, the fish will go right off the right-hand side of the stage in a holding tank, and will be available to take some more pictures at the back of the trailer. We do have a new Remind app just for the junior division, and you see it there on the screen. You text 81010 is what you text to, and in the body of the text, just type junior ABN and it should connect you to it. I would highly advise you sign up for that. Mr. Darrell runs that, and he sends out lots of reminders and things. He'll probably even send this YouTube video out on it. The bottom there, you have my cell phone number as well as Jeffrey McCord's cell phone number, and it will be on your registration card as well. Keep those registration cards in your boat, keep them handy. I guarantee you, if you got a question, there's about an 85% chance to answer your questions on that registration card, because about 85% of the questions I get are on the registration card. All right, blast off procedure. Obviously, we're going to launch the boat either at Coosa Landing or alternate ramp. If you launch at an alternate ramp, proceed slowly and safely up to Coosa Landing. You'll see on the map the staging areas in a minute. You'll stage by flighter/boat number and kind of try to get in line around boats with your similar number. And as we start moving, try to get lined up more, because for those who haven't fished with them before, I will call the boat numbers out just as fast as you guys are lined up and get down the line. If there's a boat number missing in front of you, let's say your boat number 10 and boat 7 and 8 fall in, and you look around and there's no 9 around, go ahead and get in line and come on. Because when I start calling them, I'm going to call boat number 9. and give him a couple of seconds, and then I'm gonna call boat number 10. Boat captains, please stay, it'll be upriver at Neely Henry from the dock that we're blasting off on. You need to come into that dock parallel. Please do not set out in front of me and try to drive straight in at me and turn 90 degrees. That slows everything down because boats do not make 90-degree turns. Anglers, as your boat captain is coming up there, sometimes things get a little out of whack and the boat may bump the dock. Please don't stick your arm out. It's a whole lot cheaper and less painful to fix a nick of fiberglass than a broken arm or a broken wrist. Boat captains, you're going to idle the entire length of that dock, parallel to it, just close enough for us to see the things that we're looking for in boat check. And those things are, like I said, the boat flag attached to the boat in visible sight, running lights up and on, even if it's already daylight, live wells open and running, life jackets on and fastened, and kill switch attached to the driver. So boat captains, do not pull your kill switch, just show it to us. If you've got it on your wrist or something, just pick your wrist up and show it to us, or if it's on your life jacket, kind of pick it up. All we want to do is see it attached to you. If any of these items are missing or lacking when you come through boat check, you're going to be pulled over until you get them correct. And frankly, it may be the end of blast off before you get to go because we're all busy getting everybody through. So it may be the end of blast off before we can recheck you. So make sure you have all those things in order as you come through line. As you're idling down the dock, there'll be several staff members checking those things. The last person that's checking the last item will tell you you're clear to go. Okay. That means that everything is checked. You do not take off until you clear the end of the dock, please. Okay. You must, boat captains, you must idle all the way clear of the dock before you take off. Boat captain do's and don'ts in the junior division. Pretty simple here. Boat captains, basically in the junior division, the only thing you can't do is fish or handle rod and reels. Okay. Juniors are young. You're there to help teach them. We want you to teach them. Just please do not pick up a rod and reel and be standing in the boat with it. Okay. I understand that the juniors, learning bait casters, backlash, right, and need help getting that out, and that's fine. But sit down in the bottom of the boat, take the reel off the rod so that another team doesn't come by and see you handling a rod, and sit there in your seat and pick the backlash out, re-spool it, whatever you need to do. Just please do not be seen holding a rod and reel during the tournament because I will get a call about it and then I'll have to investigate and then you'll get a call. Okay. So just do not handle a rod and reel. At the end of the day, you're going to come back to Coosa Landing. First thing you're going to do is check in at the boat dock, okay, with our check-in person. There'll be a big flag that says check-in. It'll be on the dock when we blast off, and I'll talk about it when we blast off. You come there and check in first and foremost. Then find you a dock space to tie up. You can let just one angler come up and get a bag from us. The bag will be a solid black bag and there'll be a mesh black bag inside of it. Make sure both are there. You'll go back to your boat and get your fish. You'll put your fish in the net bag, and the net bag goes inside the solid bag with water. Okay. Get your boat flag and come up to the tanks at the weigh-in station. Okay, and from there we'll have people helping you, telling you what to do and directing you. But basically, you'll take that net bag out. Someone will take that solid bag from you, pour the water out, and you'll take that net bag with your fish and put it in our tank, okay? Inside the bag, please do not dump your fish in that tank because now you're gonna have to catch them again. Put the fish inside the net bag in the tank, hold on to the top of it tight, roll it up a little bit or something so the fish don't jump out. And you'll just continue through the line until you get to the bump station. The bump man will take your boat flag and he'll check your fish for all of them being alive, measure for any short ones, and he'll tell the person on the computer, 5 fish, 5 alive, and then then you'll go to another tank right beside the stage, where you'll just wait until the MC calls your name. Right when the MC calls your name, you'll go up on the stage, carry your fish to the weighmaster, and then step in the center of the stage, and the MC will talk to you. Okay. Anglers should be ready to talk, and I can tell you one thing that you're for sure going to be asked is anybody you want to thank, and there is one person for every one of you to thank, and that's your boat captain. Okay, so be ready for that. Parents, feel free to take any pictures while your anglers on stage. Depending on the weights and how backed up we are, we let some hold fish up on stage, some we don't. But again, the fish will go immediately off the right side of the stage into a holding tank, and then when the anglers come off, they'll have plenty of time to take pictures with their fish behind the trailer if you would like to do so. All right, we'll move on to some maps here. We're getting close. So this map is spectators. We talked about Coosa Landing will not allow spectator cars in the main parking lot. Okay, and you see where it's red here. That's where the boat trailer parking is at. Spectators, there's another road just past. This is the Dollar General in front of Coosa Landing. There's another road just past it that goes in on the other side of the railroad tracks, and there's a big parking lot over here for the spectators to park in. And you see weigh in will be over here under the bridge. Now, also on the bottom of the map, I don't know if my cursor is showing, but just off the map, and you'll see in a minute, is the venue at Coosa Landing, which is also Coosa Landing's property, where some boat trailers will be parked as well. And you can park over there. You can walk down this river walk, which is a really nice walk, and you can also come in another way here. And it's not really as far as it looks. It's probably about the same distance as the other spectator parking. And again, spectators, if you're bringing tents, make sure you bring some weights. Please do not drive stakes in the grass. Folks at Coosa Landing get a little upset about that after all the trouble they've had. All right, so moving on, in the morning when everybody comes in, this is a overview of the entire area here. This is Coosa Landing. You see the boat ramp. This is Dollar General out front. In the morning when you come in, it'll be early. Dollar General won't be open. None of these stores will be open. It's kind of a narrow drive getting in here. What we need everybody to do is stop in the Dollar General parking lot out front. Get your boat ready. If you're waiting on another angler to get there, wait on him there. If you got to put your cooler in the boat or your rods in the boat, whatever you got to do it all out here. Get your boat unstrapped and ready to go, and then come down beside Dollar General. You'll turn right. We'll may or may not probably do a double file line over here, depending on if we get backed up, and come around to the boat ramp. Okay. Once you launch your boat, like it says, there's approximately 120 parking spots in here in Coosa Landing. I'll go over it again in a minute, but I think we have 130 registered. So we'll be close to holding everyone in here. So you'll have to come out and come around and find a parking spot. One big thing to note, you see these two red blocks. This building right here is the Marine Patrol, I believe it is. You cannot park on either side of that. That's where they go in and out with the Marine Patrol boat. We don't need them blocked in if they need to go out and help you, okay? So please, no parking there, and just follow directions here. We'll try to have a few people out there to help everybody get parked. And then I think the next slide, the next slide shows over here is the venue at Coosa Landing. I haven't seen it personally yet, but I talked to Julie. They have completed this road that I've got this green line drawn. They now have a big, nice road that comes out of Coosa Landing and goes over here to the venue. And this is a huge parking lot, okay? So we're gonna have some park over here, a few. But, if it's tight or you're not comfortable in tight spots, just go over here and park over here. You'll have plenty of room. It'll be a lot easier. And this is not a bad walk. It looks longer on the screen than it is, but it really is a very short walk. back over here to the boat ramp, which there's a dock here that your anglers can pick you up at as well. Okay. Spectators, you can also park over here if you'd like, and it's probably about the same distance to where our weigh-in trailer will be from the venue as it is from the other side of the railroad tracks. All right, once you get in the water, need to kind of try to get in order by boat number. I just have this in general. Basically, if you're not in the top 50, you need to be behind the bridge for sure. And even some of the 50 can be back there. And of course, if you're back in 100, you need to be back against the railroad bridge. What I was talking about is everybody needs to stay behind this dock. Please do not sit out here in front of me. Stay back here so that you can come parallel down this dock. Once I start calling out boat numbers, you're going to idle parallel down this dock. And boat captains, you're going to idle all the way to the very end of the dock, okay? We'll check all the things that I went over earlier: live wells, life jackets, kill switch, running lights, and boat flag as you idle down the dock. Okay. If you're going downriver, you got to clear the dock before you can take off. If you want to go back upriver, up is upriver here by the blue arrows, please idle all the way across the river and idle up the other side. And idle, remember, it's by state law, it's idle only between these two bridges, but in the morning, it's idle only from the end of the dock to the railroad bridge for me, because we're going to have boats staging out here and we can't have everybody rocking around. So if you're going upriver, once you clear the end of the dock, you're going to idle all the way across and idle all the way until you get past the railroad bridge before you take off. Okay. And that is no wake there. For the rest of you that are sitting out here, please make sure you leave a lane on this far side of the river for people who want to idle back up that way. Okay. Let's see. No wake, pretty simple slide here. We talked about this. Between the two bridges is state law, no wake. Okay, please make sure you know that. The Marine Patrol run that very hard. And you see I have the check-in placed on the dock down here. That's where you'll check in at the end of the day. All right. So kind of wrapping it up here. Off limits, like I said, center of the river from the railroad bridge all the way down. This is the pocket. This is the mouth going into this pocket back here where we'll be weighing in. Okay. So off limits is all the way to the entrance of it. Again, you must check in, right? You see my note up here. You must check in before you go to weigh in. For people coming upriver, yes, you've got to idle through the no wake and come over here to the dock and check in. Okay, please. And then if you don't have any fish, you can go back and load your boat. All right. And as far as when you come in weigh in, you're going to check in, and it is a water weigh in, right? Obviously, you can tie up to this big new dock here. There's a little dock here behind the store, and there's also a couple of little docks inside this pocket right here, right? And you see where the weigh-in trailer will be, and there's an entrance there. It is shallow there, so be careful going under there, but you can get through there without a problem. But you can come in here and dock and come weigh in as well. All right. That is all the slideshow. Let me take a look here at my notes real quick, a little more housekeeping. Remember, our dead fish penalty is an escalating penalty. The first one is first dead fish is a quarter pound. The second one goes up to 0.75, and the third one to 1.25, and so on and so forth. So please take care of your fish. We will have the scales open by 1:30, potentially a little bit, potentially earlier, but we'll commit to for sure 1:30. We do have 130 boats registered in this tournament, so should be a great tournament, a decent crowd, but not really crowded. Remember the check-in rule. Please remember to check in at the boat at the check-in flag at the dock before you leave the water, unless you can't get back. And if so, that's the case, please call me or Jeffrey. And I've been saying call me and Jeffrey at this. Daryl High will not be at this tournament. I know a lot of you have his number, but he will not be at this tournament. I think he's going to be at another tournament. So he's not going to be able to help you. Call me or Jeffrey, please. Let's see. The normal scales will close 30 minutes after the last flight or until the end of the weigh-in line or until we have everyone checked in. Normally, if everybody does their job and they check in and I don't have to look for anybody, we usually are able to close the scales about 5 minutes after the last angler weighs in, and then within 10 to 15 minutes at the most, we're able to start the results and get everybody on their way home. Let's see. Any problems or emergency, again, call myself or Jeffrey. After you call 911 if it's an emergency. The slideshow will be uploaded to Facebook in a PDF form so that you can look at it at your own leisure. And, you know, probably not, we've done enough at Neely Henry. It should be the way we do it, but anything can get tweaked a little bit. So just make sure you're ready for any changes. And other than that, thank you everyone for viewing. Best of luck to the junior anglers this weekend. I look forward to seeing everyone at registration Friday, and we'll have a great day Saturday. Thank you, everyone.